I tried to beat the hardest FNAF game, and it broke me. Well, maybe not the hardest, but according to the FNAF Max Mode list, One Night at Chica's Magic Rainbow is actually the second hardest FNAF game ever. So come with me as we explore and check out what makes One Night at Chica's Magic Rainbow so hard. We start off on a poorly made title screen, offering normal mode and hard mode. We can't play hard mode just yet, so we'll begin with normal mode. But first off, I just want to clear up, the reason why this game looks kind of like shit is because it was actually created in Scratch. Yes, this is a Scratch game that was imported on the Game Jolt for us to play. But anyways, let's move into normal mode and begin. Shit. Yeah, so if you didn't catch what happened there, we lost because our mouse cursor left the screen. This is a feature of the game that will become very annoying. Our surroundings are a front window with a big Chica's Magic Rainbow in it, and if we turn around, we'll find two doors that we can close one at a time, and a clock. Since this is a one night game, progress is made by hours. In the first hour, we only have two threats, the big Chica's Magic Rainbow and smaller rainbows. The big rainbow requires us to keep our cursor on her, or else the countdown will start. This is extremely important because if this timer hits 0, we will just die. The smaller rainbows will appear on any of the four corners of our screen. We simply have to click them and they'll go away. If we don't, we die. The first few hours of this game are very long and honestly boring, and we must replay it every single time we die, which is honestly the most annoying part of this game because we will be dying a lot. 1 AM introduces us to two new characters that we must juggle. We'll start with the Purple Geist. I think that's his name. He will attack the doors behind us. We simply need to close the door he attacks to stop him from killing us. Not too bad. We also get the clock introduced. I don't know if this counts as an enemy or as a mechanic, but from 1 AM onwards, the clock will randomize its hour hand at random times. This is important because when the hour changes, we have to have the clock hand on the correct hour. That means that if it's turning to 2 AM, we must have the clock's hour hand on 1 AM by the time it turns to 2. If we don't do this, the Big Rainbow's timer will be set to 5, which basically means we're fucked. All of this might not seem that bad, but it's about to get a whole lot worse. Once we hit 2 AM, this is where the game actually starts to get hard. We now have another medium-sized rainbow that will shoot out lasers in the middle of the screen, as well as eyeballs that will move from the left side of our screen to the right. We can't touch any of these with our mouse cursor, or else. This brings us to this game's completely frustrating gameplay loop. You must take care of the Purple Geist, the mini rainbow, and the clock, all while dodging the lasers from the medium rainbow. But that's basically everything this game has to introduce for normal mode. It requires great mouse movement and focus, and if you slip up for even a second, you will die. It requires us to stay on our toes as we juggle every threat while making sure that the clock remains on the correct hour. I found the most helpful thing to do was to set a stopwatch when the game starts. Every hour in this game is 1 minute and 15 seconds, and using this knowledge, we will only need to fix the clock once, right before the hour changes, leaving us more time to deal with the mini rainbows and Purple Geist, while keeping the Big Rainbow's timer up. I found that on this mode, the timer for the Big Rainbow is actually pretty lenient, so you don't really have to worry too much about staying on the rainbow all the time. But now that we know how to handle every threat, the real challenge comes from staying focused and not slipping up, as messing up forces us to replay the boring 12 to 2 AM cycle and go through everything all over again. This is the hard part, as my hands began to hurt and I got tired of playing. I kept getting in my head and getting frustrated when I lost. I got so tilted that I had to take a break from playing and come back after eating to try to finish. I kept making it to 5 AM, only to mess up the clock or my nerves making me miss. Bro, are you fucking serious? Until I finally got this run. So, 7:30, I gotta switch it.
Wow, what a moron!
Oh my god.
Kill you! Prepare for rainbow overload!
We did it. Oh, I finally did it. After hours of attempts, I was able to defeat Chica's Magic Rainbow, but that was just the normal mode. And to be honest, we've seen nothing yet. I moved my attention to the hard mode. Hard mode only really has two real changes. The medium rainbow now shoots in 3 directions instead of just straight down, and there are 4 mini rainbows instead of 1. How do we tell which rainbow is the correct one? Well, that's a good question. If you have a keen eye, you may have noticed that one rainbow, unlike all the others, is not looking towards the center of the screen. This is the one we need to click. Everyone is more aggressive on this mode, and to be honest, I thought I was never going to beat this, considering how hard normal mode was for me. But to be honest, in total playtime, this took me less time than it did in normal mode. I took a break after getting my ass kicked for a while and came back around 1:40 a.m. and played lights out. Oh my god, I'm the best fucking player ever. Holy shit, I'm the greatest to ever live. I'm the best. Oh my god, hard mode complete. So was that it? Was this One Night at Chica's Magic Rainbow the second hardest FNAF game? That just seemed too easy. Well, this game is on the FNAF Max mode list for a good reason. There's still one more mode to play. If we go to Chips and select Turn on All, we will enter Rainbow Overload. This game mode is probably the most overwhelming and frustrating thing I've ever played. So I'm gonna try my best to go over everything. The big rainbow in the middle has a lot of changes. It's now a music box that needs to be wound up and down. And it will now also move to the left and to the right quickly into the line of fire of the medium rainbow. This is extremely frustrating as when you go to wind up the big rainbow, it will go straight into the beams. Sometimes the curtains will close too, blocking our view of the big and medium rainbows, and we need to click to reopen them. The mini rainbows now have smaller hitboxes and need to be double clicked in order to have them removed. They aren't much of a problem on this mode, but the one in the bottom right is really hard to click for some reason. There are now two purple geists as well, and we must close the door on the one that is moving. Purple Geist also will damage the doors when he attacks, which can be repaired by holding this little button above the door. To be honest, this would all make the game super hard, but the last two chips are absolutely infuriating. The clock now must always be on the correct hour, or else you will instantly lose. With how often the clock changes on this mode, you need to be constantly fixing it, and sometimes it can just decide to fuck you over. The last chip, I barely got to try out because I kept dying, but at 1, 2, 3, and 4 a.m., a new character will be introduced randomly. These characters are Tyke, DD, Anima Dude, and Balloon Boy. For Tyke, you will need to click the tree when it's fully grown to cut it, and DD requires you to click at Pearl to defend her. Anima Dude and BB are much harder, as you must dodge Anima Dude's attacks with your mouse on top of everything else, and you must hand BB a balloon from the balloon barrel on your right. I barely got to try any of these guys, but I imagine it would be even harder than it was for me on 12 a.m. with them. I sadly was never able to get even close to beating Rainbow Overload, even after hours of attempts. So that's all Chica's Magic Rainbow has to offer us. This game is honestly pretty fun for being an old Scratch game. Yeah, it's not pretty looking, but it felt challenging and not RNG based. Once I got the hang of it, I felt pretty badass moving my mouse around the screen. I'm still upset I wasn't able to beat Rainbow Overload, but I don't want to pour days into this just for this one video. If you guys actually want to see me try to beat it, let me know though, because I would love to go back and try to finish it. I would say you guys should definitely try this game if you want a simple but extremely challenging FNAF game. I'm sure you all will do much better than I did though. But that's all I have time for today. Thank you for sticking along for the video. I appreciate all of you. I've been Kid. Have a good one.